Visit Quake.com to learn more.
Welcome back to E3 2017. It's day 2 here. I'm DJ Weed, and I have to apologize in advance. It's been an exciting show. I'm a little froggy today, but got Pete joining us. Pete, how's it going?
Good to see you again, sir.
Yes, good to see you. So, interesting story about this particular game. I wouldn't be here on this stage talking to you at all if it wasn't for the game Quake.
Yep.
Was a professional player, commentator, dedicated a lot of years of my life to this game, and I was so excited when Quake Champions came out. Of course, always that moment as like a big fan. Like, is it going to live up to the expectations?
What did they do to it? And is it
right?
Quake?
And I remember sitting down. It was actually PAX, the last PAX, and I got a chance to play it. It was my first time, and everyone walked away. Everyone was like, "So, what's the verdict?" And I'm like, what the most important thing is? It just feels like Quake. It is exactly what it needs to be.
Yep.
So I haven't had a chance to say this to you guys, but like, you guys killed it. It's great. Been playing in the closed beta. The open beta is available now. You can go check it out. And we got a bunch of new news from you guys. The Bethesda Land press conference.
Yep, a lot going on this week.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. Is one of the first things was coming out of the betas or the closed beta into the open beta. A lot of new game modes have been released, and we got a chance to test out a lot of stuff. But this is the first time we've heard of a new character.
Yep.
Yeah, so BJ from the Wolfenstein series is going to make a special appearance in the Quake universe.
He's the latest champion to be introduced to the game, and of course, being BJ, his special ability is dual wielding.
Right.
What else?
Right.
Running around with twin rocket launchers. Seems pretty fun.
When I saw the 2 railguns, I was like, that's something I've thought about while playing Quake before. So I like that.
He might be your guy.
I like that. Well, we'll have to see. Now, one of the unique things that you guys have done with a lot of the characters that's certainly different than the other games is the idea that there might be this thing that this character can do, but as a result, the movement might be a little bit slower, or they might not have as much speed potential with the movement. So I don't know if all the full details on BJ is kind of been released, but I assume that because he can dual wield, he maybe doesn't have the same amount of mobility.
It tends to be that balancing act, and again, to the point about being in beta, like that's the whole point of beta is getting people in and getting feedback, not just on the game as a whole, but on specific champions.
Right.
Hey, we're going to get a lot of people to play this champion because we want to see how balanced it is, how fun it is. Is he too good? Is he not good enough? How is the speed? How is the damage that he's dealing? Finding the right the numbers on the dials to tweak all of that stuff to is a huge part of what we're doing right now.
And I mean, again, as someone who appreciated sort of every generation of Quake, the idea that like if I was a Quake X player, then I could find a character that matches that movement style or that feeling without really taking away from any of the other aspects of the game. Something that I thought at first would be really difficult to pull off, but is executed so well by you guys.
Yeah, it's the trick was how do we bring Quake into a modern era, but still have it feel Quake, and trying to find the balance with those champions and not having it be a game where you felt like you were playing a class, if that makes sense, right? Where it's like, well, I'm just sort of chaining alts and just firing those off one after the other. Like, that is not what Quake Champions is about. It's still a very skill-intensive game. It's incredibly fast, which you can attest to, having played it at PAX East and during the beta. And there is a strategy to those champions and finding the right balance, both when you're building a team and figuring out like what it is we're gonna try and do, and then obviously even more so in the duels and that 1v1. Before we came on, you and I were talking about Rafa, what an exceptional player he is, and I honestly believe you could give that guy literally anything blind and he'll be just fine. Like, there's nothing he can't play when it comes to Quake.
It's really amazing.
It's almost like not of this earth level of skill.
I agree, which is one of the reasons why I love Quake so much, because it can actually bring that out, and it's amazing to see. Now, you also announced a new map, which certainly has a lot of the old school and new school Quake aspects to it, but I feel like there was something that I actually saw in this trailer that really harkens back to Quake 2, and I think the last time we saw something like this, but a map that involved sort of an environmental, like as a player, I can do something, whether it's shoot this or press this button, and it can environmentally, kill someone, or frag someone.
That, and then the other thing that we've been hearing a lot from the community is that the dual mode was using existing maps, which didn't really feel fit for 1v1, right?
Right.
A 4v4 map and then being applied to 1v1. So two new maps for specifically for duels, so that folks can start to practice and play duel on maps that are purpose built for duels, as opposed to kind of these larger arenas that are better suited for 4v4. So I think so far the reaction to that has been pretty good. I mean, we're literally just rolling that out. We're just rolling BJ out, and the new weapon. But getting those things out to players, letting them test them, get used to them, getting feedback, getting all that data and tweaking and tuning has been a lot of fun to be able to kind of quickly respond to what folks are talking about and asking for.
Now, I mean, one part of Quake has obviously been the, sit down, we have an impromptu LAN party, we get together with 5 buddies and we're playing all night. But then the other side of it, to me at least, is obviously the competitive side of it. We talked a little bit about Rafa. You guys had some news that, of course, the Quake World Championships has been announced, $1 million prize pool. Of course, QuakeCon, which has been a staple event for many, many, many years, is sort of the venue for that. I'm really excited about this, knowing the amount of amazing talent that is out there and have never, I could be wrong about this, but I feel like just with this prize pool alone, we're talking about some of the best Quake pros from the last 4 to 5 years competing for more money than there's been in the last 3 years combined. And that's to me, I feel like every amazing Russian player, every amazing Swedish player. I mean, frankly, all of the great Europeans. We know many of the U.S. players that have been keeping the Quake live and have moved to Quake Championships. I think this is setting up for something really magical to take place.
Well, we do too. And to that point, obviously we're talking about the Quake World Championships at QuakeCon at the end of August. But that's just the first step. We've got lots of stuff planned. We'll probably be talking more about that at QuakeCon throughout the rest of this year and next year. Rolling it out outside of just North America, taking it global, because there are so many great Quake players from around the world, and really bringing this game out both online where people can compete and play, but then doing those bigger events to bring the very best players together, the very best teams together, and the best players. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting, starting with QuakeCon and moving on from there.
Well, Pete, you're an easy interview, because that was going to be my next question. What can we expect beyond QuakeCon? And you pretty much kind of said it right there.
Yeah, we definitely have plans, and one of the fun things that we're doing is the qualifiers will result in 8 teams for the team mode. There's 24 spots for the duels, and we're actually going to pull 8 of those spots out of QuakeCon itself, because of the players that come there, running qualifiers at QuakeCon, and pulling 8 of those dual players of the 24 are going to come from QuakeCon itself to make sure we're really involving the community. And to your point, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Quake, but QuakeCon isn't there for Quake. It's the original esports. It's the whole reason that con has been going for over 2 decades, and we want to make sure we're involving those folks as well in what we think is a pretty cool start to a cool game.
That's great. And as far as playing it now or participating in the beta, where do we go? What do we do?
Right now, don't wait. Quake.com, you can go jump into the beta right now. You'll get a code. You can download the client and start playing immediately. And also it'll direct you to all the info you need if you're really good and really interested in competing for a shot at the Quake World Championships. You can find all the info you need there.
I'll see you in Texas. So, Pete, thank you so much. Really excited about everything that you guys are bringing to the table. We've got tons more coming at you.